Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we are doing a live Q&A tarot session, and for those of you who may not be familiar with this format, these lives are just an opportunity or an additional avenue for you to ask your questions and for you to get immediate answers. Now I do offer private readings other than this, but in the private readings the minimum turnaround time is about 24 to 48 hours. So that's if you opt the express delivery. Otherwise, it is about 3 to 5 business days. So these lives that I do have over here, they are just an opportunity for you to ask your questions and get immediate answers. I will be answering those questions live right over here. Other than that, there are 3 tiers available for today's live. The first tier is the live yes/no timing question. So if you have a question that can be answered with yes, no, or timing, then you would be choosing that option. Otherwise, there are open-ended questions as well. Those are 2 tiers that are available. If you want me to pull a single card, then that would be the single card question. And the open-ended 3 card would be I'll be pulling out 3 cards. For those of you who are here, please register your questions through the link only. I will not be taking questions in the chat box, only through the links, please. All right. So you can find the links in the description box, or you can find it in the chat box. Other than that, those are the 3 options available. I will be answering the questions live, but you will have to register your questions through the links alone. All right. So those are the 3 links. Other than that, my private readings are available at this point in time. You can definitely check that out in the description box. And I also do offer Reiki healing sessions. So for example, there are different kinds of Reiki healing sessions that I do offer. For example, there is, if you are having trouble sleeping, then there's deep rest Reiki healing session. If you are having trouble with, absorbing too much of negative energy from maybe people, situations around you, there is negative energy clearing. Then, anxiety ease, physical body pain ease. There is also different Reiki healing sessions like inner child healing, trauma healing, so on and so forth. So there are a couple of Reiki healing session options that I do offer as well. All right, so in today's Q&A live, you can definitely ask any questions related to any situation that you are in. I will be here for about 30 minutes today. So just to take in your questions, just to see if you need any answers immediately. Sometimes situation does demand it. So I thought, why not I come here and allow that opportunity for you to ask if you'd like. All right. Okay. And other than that, yes, register your questions through the links alone, not through the chat box. The links are there in the description box. They're also there in the chat box. Okay. But simultaneously, we will be pulling out cards. I will be pulling out advice cards for whoever may be tuning in. Maybe you don't have any questions right now, and that's completely okay. You can tune in for the advice that is coming through. I will be doing it as mini reads. So I'll pull 1 card. I'll kind of tap deeper into that energy for advice for you at this point in time. And then we will change the energy, and then we'll pull another advice card. And I'll do that until 30 minutes are up. But if we do get a registered question, then we will pause this reading and then we will go for the registered questions. All right. Other than that, I hope you are doing well, and I hope that this reading can provide some kind of comfort, some kind of clarity, and some kind of confirmation for you. All right. Without further ado, let's get into today's advice. But of course, you can absolutely ask your questions. The question links are provided in the description box. They're also provided in the chat box as well. There are 3 tiers available. The first one is the live yes, no, and timing. The second one is the open-ended single card question. And the third one is the 3-card open-ended question. So the 3-card open-ended question will be just a lot more in detail because we're pulling out more cards, more details about the situation as well. All right. You can absolutely ask your question. I think I'll wait for like a minute or 2 before I start the simultaneous live reading that we are doing. So on the side, we'll be having like advice, just pulling out cards for advice. But if you have any questions related to your specific situation, you can absolutely do so. I'll just grab a sip of water and then we shall get started. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling an advice card. Let's see what wants to come through. I'm intending this for whoever is watching it, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it after it has gone into the live tarot reading playlist. You can always come back to these lives. Today's date is 13th of April, 2026. We have Justice, we have the Sun. Alrighty, so for those of you who may be watching, it looks like you are waiting for some kind of justice to happen in a situation. The energy coming through is maybe you have been wronged by someone, or maybe you have kind of been waiting for things to balance out in terms of justice. I'm feeling someone very angry, very resentful, perhaps even trying to make peace with the fact that someone has hurt them very deeply. It looks like whoever this person is, I don't get very good energy from them. So it looks like maybe they went out of their way to hurt you. Maybe perhaps even this could be a very toxic or a very unhealthy connection that you've come out of. Perhaps even maybe it might have really, really affected you. That's kind of the energy that's coming through. That seems to be the situation. I also feel on your end, you might have been waiting, okay, well, when is this person going to get back exactly what they deserve? Or when are they going to, where's the karmic justice? Is this person going to get back what they gave me? That's kind of the feeling and the energy within you. I do want to say, first off, the advice coming through is it's not about the karmic justice in the situation. If you keep looking for karmic justice in a situation, what happens is your focus actually stops the other person from going through perhaps what is intended for them to go through. You're blocking that energy if you're constantly focusing on them. The advice coming through is shift the focus back to you. There is so much good that's coming into your life. There's so much of happiness, so much of brightness that is stepping into your life. Don't focus on them. Don't focus on when the scales will get balanced. Don't worry too much about that. I know it's difficult. I know that, especially when we have been wronged, and in that situation, we want to see the person maybe suffer just as much as we did. In those moments, when you are in that energy, you're actually blocking it from playing out, from the scales to balance, if the scales are meant to balance in this lifetime, right? You're actually blocking that energy. So the message coming through is focus on yourself, focus on what is going well in your life. It looks like there are more things to come into your life, more happiness, more brightness. Now, I do feel like I need to talk about karmic justice in this reading, so we're going to talk about that. Now, sometimes there are certain souls that are meant to hurt us, are meant to wrong us so that we learn, so that we grow. These are soul contracts, these are karmic contracts that we have with these individuals where we decided that, hey, I want to learn this lesson in this lifetime. I want to grow in this lifetime, but I will not be able to grow, or I will not be stabilizing in that energy of growth unless I feel wronged, or unless there is some kind of injustice that's being done to me. So we look for souls in this moment of time. We look for souls who are agreeable to be that karmic counterpart for us, right? And so it is part of the soul contract. It is part of the karmic contract that you will behave in this way so that I will learn this lesson and I will grow from this lesson in this way, right? Especially when there are karmic contracts in that format. The other person, there will be karmic debt that keeps rising on their end as well. But it is up to that soul whether they choose to clear out that karmic debt in this lifetime or perhaps in the future one. So that karmic energy doesn't really go anywhere. It keeps accumulating. But sometimes people do go lifetimes without clearing of that karmic debt. And then all of a sudden they clear it either in one lifetime, or they decide, okay, it's time, this lifetime, I'm going to clear this particular karmic debt, so on and so forth. So sometimes you are not going to see the other person going through an equal and opposite effect of what they put you through. All right. Now, these souls, the soul that you have a karmic contract with, they also feel, their soul also feels like, okay, we need to rack up this karmic injustice on our end so that we can maybe put all of that into use and learn and grow and maybe even become a better person through the karmic injustice. All right. So there is karmic debt that's racking up on their end. There is karmic debt that's kind of being cleared on your end. All right. So that's how the thing happens. So sometimes you are not going to see the other person go through what they put you through. You are not going. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes, yes, the other soul, they're like, okay, whatever debt I'm picking on in this lifetime, I'm going to clear it out in this lifetime. And that's when you see the karmic justice happening in that particular lifetime. Sometimes you are privy to that unfolding. Sometimes you are not. That really depends on, again, your soul contract with this person. However, if you keep waiting on it to happen, most likely you are actually delaying any kind of justice balancing. And more often than not, if you're waiting for it to happen, you are in the energy of blocking yourself from seeing it unfold as well. All right. So the energy coming through is focus on yourself, focus on your life, whatever they are meant to, if they need to go through whatever they need to go through, if there needs to be karmic justice that needs to be balanced on their end, that is completely on their journey. That is up to their soul. That is their soul contract, all right? It is not up to you to hold on to that energy. It becomes too heavy. It starts working against you as well. Just trust that the karmic scales will be balanced at some point, whether it is this lifetime or future lifetimes. Yes, they are racking up the karmic debt. They will go through it at some point. But if you keep waiting for it to happen, first off, you're wasting a lot of your energy on something that you yourself are delaying from happening if it is meant to happen in this lifetime. So the message coming through is, if you're waiting for the person on your mind to maybe go through what they put you through, or you're waiting for some kind of karmic balancing, don't be in the waiting energy. Let go, let go. The more you hold on to it, the more that heaviness stays with you and the more it eats you up from the inside. It's just not worth the holding on to that energy. So instead, clear it out. Thank this person, thank this soul for stepping into your life and teaching you whatever they needed to teach you. Thank the soul for allowing that growth to happen within you, and then release it. Release it. That's also how you release the karmic clearing within you as well. So release it and trust that the imbalance in the energy, it will get cleared out. Whether it is this lifetime or another lifetime, that is up to that soul to decide. It is not up to you to decide. So just let go and trust that the scales will be balanced at some point. All right, not perhaps right now, but it will be balanced at some point. We do have a question that's come in for a live yes or no. I'm just waiting for it to come through on my end. With respect to the question that's come in, you need to go through the registration process completely, like fill in your name as well. Otherwise, I won't get the message on my email. I did receive your question, but you'll have to, like, did you go through the entire process? Then it's just a matter of time. Then I'm just waiting for the email to come through. It'll come in like a minute or something. How are you doing? Yes, yes, you have to. Otherwise, I won't get the email over here. But you'll only have to do it once. If you ask a question again, then you don't have to go through the entire process. But it's just the first time. Yes, yes. I think it's already come through. Like I got the confirmation that you've made the payment, but it's just the. Okay, sure, sure, yeah. Yes, yes, I did, I did. I got the email that you made the purchase. All right, hold on, hold on. Yes, I received it. Notification of payment received. Yes. You can write in the nickname that you want me to say, and then you can write your question. If you feel comfortable, you can put your question in the chat box. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Hi, Prab. Okay. Prab and her person. Okay. Will Prab's person try to make things better between the two of them? Try to make things better between the two of them. We have the 10 of cups, so that's a very big yes that's coming through. But I do feel like this is going to take a bit of time for your person to perhaps reach out, or your person to figure out how to make things right between the two of you. But the answer coming through is a very, very big yes. It also looks like your person does have to walk away from certain aspects of their life, or perhaps even their ego, their own limiting beliefs, in order for them to decide to make things better between the two of you. But the answer coming through is a very big yes. I also feel like your person does want your connection. They feel really happy in your connection, but they also understand that there are some things that they need to walk away in order for them to come forward, in order to actually make things better between the two of you. There is a lot of hope that your person has in this situation, but now it's just more of wondering if they can move forward from whatever it is that they need to walk away from. Can they do it? Can they not? It looks like your person will, but they are kind of going through the mental process at this point in time. There is a bit of emotional turmoil. I am getting that energy, but it looks like your person will move past that. A little bit of slow energy, but yes, your person will try to make things better between the two of you. Your person feels really happy with you. They like your energy. They like the energy of the connection. It makes them happy. It makes them feel fulfilled. And your person wants that energy in their life. So the answer is a very big yes. All right. Your person will try to make things better between the two of you. I can see that. It looks like, if you can see, hold on, let me show this card up to you. I can see that. Wait, where is it? Where's the camera? I always struggle with the camera. Can you see the image over here? I do think that there is a lot of sadness on your person's end, and I do think that they are struggling a bit with the situation between the two of you. But at the same time, you are kind of their happiness. That's also the energy that's coming through, and your person does want things to get better between the two of you, so they will try, because it is what they feel on the inside. Even regardless of how bad it is, it looks like your person will try to make things better between the two of you. You're very welcome. I would say give it some time. You also take some time to cool down, to allow the energy to be first, allow the energy to settle. I think that maybe when both of you, like, your mind is a little bit clear on what to move past, maybe past resentment, maybe some things that both of you said to each other, or whatever has gone down in the situation, just allow things to settle down between the two of you. I really think that your person will try to make things better between the two of you. You're very welcome. Alrighty, for those of you here who, you can definitely ask your questions. This is a live Q&A, live tarot reading. Wow, live Q&A tarot reading. You can definitely ask your questions. If you scroll up through the chat box, you'll be able to see different links. They are links to ask your questions. There are 3 tiers that are available. The first one is the live yes, no, and timing. So if you have any question that is a yes or a no or a timing, you can definitely ask that. You can also ask a single card question, open-ended single card question, or you can ask for 3 cards, open-ended question as well. The links are there in the description box below. They're also there in the chat box as well. All right. So the questions will have to be registered through the links. I'll be here for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes if you want to ask your questions live. Now, these lives are just an opportunity for me to answer your question immediately. I will be getting the question pretty much immediately, and then I'll be answering it here on the live. If you want to come back to this reading at a later point, just check out the title of this live. It will have the date of when I'm coming live. Today is the 13th of April, 2026, so 13/4/26, that will be the title. So you can come back. It will be saved in the live tarot reading playlist on my YouTube channel. Right? So if you have any specific questions for your situation, you may absolutely do so. You can check out the links in the description box or in the chat box. Other than that, I do offer private readings. The private readings are a lot more one-on-one, a lot more detailed, and there are a couple of options available for that as well. You can definitely check that out. That's there in the description box. Other than that, I am also a Reiki healer. So if you wish for a Reiki healing session, you can also check out the different options that are available for that as well. I'll be here for maybe another 10, 15 minutes taking in questions, and then I will kind of end this live for today. I will be here every single weekday around this time. So if you have questions during the week, yes, you may absolutely join in the live and ask your questions. All right. Other than that, we were kind of doing a mini read for like advice. Like I would pull out an advice card, and then we would kind of take a deep dive into the advice for whoever is watching. So I'll wait for another maybe couple of seconds before I get into the next live mini read. The first one, we talked a little bit about, kind of moving away from wanting karmic justice in a situation and instead focusing on one's life, focusing on one's future, focusing on your own happiness rather than waiting for the scales to balance between you and maybe someone who has wronged you. So that was the topic of discussion that we had for the live mini read, like the first part of this live. So I want to kind of pull another advice card and we'll see what wants to come through. All right. But if you have any questions related to a situation that you're going through, you can absolutely ask, register your questions through the links provided. It's there in the chat box. It's also there in the description box. Other than that, I hope you're doing well. And if you're not, I hope that things will get better. And I hope that this reading in some way can provide you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you are looking for. Okay. Let's pull one advice card, shall we? Four of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Don't be hesitant to like having difficult conversations. That's kind of the energy that's coming through for a connection to be stable or for any situation to be stable. There is a layer of honesty that needs to come through, and there is something about you voicing your thoughts, voicing your opinions. So for some of you, this could be at your workplace, this could be in a connection, this could be in a relationship. It looks like maybe you might be holding yourself back from communicating your thoughts or from expressing your opinions. The message coming through is for anything to be solid, for anything to be stable, whether it is your position at a company or in your career path, or maybe for the connection to move forward, for a connection to have some kind of stability between the two of you, there needs to be space for honest conversations. And that means that you also have to voice your thoughts. You also have to voice your opinions. You need to be participating in these difficult conversations. And that is part of a healthy connection. That is part of, your journey as well. to make sure that you are maybe not overlooked, your thoughts are not overlooked, maybe you are also not sidelined. So when you voice your thoughts, when you voice your opinions, it's important to recognize that at that moment in time, you're meant to step forward, you're meant to voice those expressions of your thoughts, your opinions. There is some hesitation coming through. It looks like maybe you might be worried about the consequences of it. Maybe take some time to see, okay, well, this is something that has helped me a lot, especially when I need to voice my thoughts and opinions in certain situations. Usually, I'm quite upfront and I'm quite direct. That's just my nature. That's just who I am. But there are some situations where it's a little bit delicate, and I do understand that. And perhaps I also care about the person, and I want to make sure that I'm coming out in a way that is considerate, in a way that honors what they are going through and their position in my life as well. So, in those situations, this is something that has helped me a lot, and this has come over a long period of time. Like while growing up, I was someone like the moment a thought was in my mind, there was absolutely no filter, and it would just kind of come out. And then after it was out of me, I would like, oh, okay, think about how it affected the other person, or wonder how I could have said it better, or I would like kind of have these thoughts like, oh, I wish I had said it this way. So that has been me. So this has been a very long journey of me understanding that as much as I do need to voice my thoughts and opinions, there has to be a particular energy and a particular intention, and I need to be aligned in order for that to happen. So this is one way that has helped me with respect to voicing my thoughts and opinions. It's about, I usually take a piece of paper and then I write, okay, if I say this, what's going to happen? If there's a positive reaction, what could that reaction be? And then I go kind of detailed into that, what that positive reaction could be, the negative reaction to that. How can I maybe make the situation a little bit better if it was a negative reaction? Or how can I empathize with what the other person is saying while also making sure that I'm holding my ground with respect to my thought process and what I wish to say? And then I kind of chart it out that way. That has actually helped me clear out a lot of the energy within me. Like sometimes you might not necessarily know how the other person is going to react. So this kind of helps me put me in a situation or puts me in a mental prep process where I can handle how the other person is showing up. So today there's a lot more thought processes that go on before I say what's on my mind. That's come through a lot of practice, to be very honest with you, and it's come through a lot of writing down. Today the thought process is a lot more mental. But when I started out, it was actually physically writing all of this down, writing what I wanted to say so that there's clarity in my mind so that I'm not missing out on any points. And more importantly, I was saying it in a way that is absolutely clear while also maybe honoring what the other person was feeling or honoring their own emotions at that point in time. So writing it down and then kind of charting out, okay, if there's a negative reaction, what could the negative reaction be? And then how will I respond to that? And then if there's a positive reaction, then how will I respond to that? So on and so forth. And just keep charting it out. Then what will the other person say? Just chart it out so that, there is that comfort level that you feel that, okay, I can handle whatever comes up in the situation or whatever the other person says. I can handle it. I can maybe respond in a way that clarifies my standing, but also honors the other person as well, also respects the other person as well. Whatever it is that you are holding back from saying in any situation, it looks like it might work against you if you don't voice your thoughts and your opinions, and you might get sidelined, you might get overlooked. So it's important that you voice your thoughts and opinions. If you've been like thinking, should I say it, should I not say it? The message coming through is it's important that you say it because first off, there's some energy of stability within you that you have to honor, and you will honor it through this conversation or through this speech. I'm also getting like maybe it's just you saying something, you saying something out loud, right? So if you've been holding back because you're not sure if you are meant to or not, just take a few seconds and ask yourself, well, if I don't say this, what could possibly go wrong, or how could this unfold? Will something like negative happen to me if I withhold my thoughts back, or if I don't speak up in this situation? And it looks, according to the cards that have come out and the energy, it looks like your answer will be like, yes, I might either get overlooked, or my thoughts won't be considered, or I might get sidelined, and the journey will continue without my input. And so that might actually inevitably, wow, struggling with my words this morning. inevitably kind of affect you in the long term. So think about your long term. Don't think about right now. Like it's possible that yes, when you say this, there might be like a big kind of maybe causing some kind of chaos. You'll have to navigate that. It's okay. Think about the long term. Don't think about the short term. Think about the long term. How is that going to affect you if you don't speak up at this point in time? Because the message coming through is it looks like there's some thoughts that you're holding back, and it's important that it kind of comes out of you. And you may be worried about how it comes across, but think about the long term. Think about your position long term, and I feel like you will have your answer. All right. Alrighty, so that's a message that's coming out. If you have any thoughts about the advice that just came through, you can definitely put it in the chat box or put it in the comment box if you're watching this after as well. And if you have any questions related to any situation that you are in, you may absolutely ask. The question registration links are there in the description box. They're also there in the chat box. If you just scroll up a little bit, you will be able to catch the links for the questions. All right. But other than that, I hope you're doing well, and I hope that if you're not, then I hope that things do get better. I hope that this reading can provide some kind of clarity, some kind of confirmation, some kind of comfort as well. Other than that, I'm going to be here for maybe another 5 more minutes if you want to ask your questions, if you want to perhaps get some clarity about a situation or a connection that you are in as well. You can absolutely ask your questions. These lives are just an opportunity for you to ask your questions and get immediate answers. The reason for this is because in my private readings, the minimum turnaround time is about 24 to 48 hours. That is if you choose the express delivery. Other than that, otherwise it's like a 3 to 5 business days turnaround. So I thought, why not have an opportunity to kind of get questions and then answer them live? Because sometimes the situation does demand it. Sometimes the energy is changing that fast that you need immediate answers. So this is just an avenue for that. I will be here every single weekday. If you are, you just have any questions that you want to ask, you can absolutely do so. You have to register your questions to the link, but the lives are just there for you. You can just hop on, ask, and then get your answer. All right. So links are there in the description box. Links are also there in the chat box. Feel free to take some time to ask. I will be keeping the registration open for another 5 minutes, actually 3 more minutes. So you can, if you are asking a question, definitely let me know in the chat box, and I will keep it open just for you. But other than that, I'll be here for another maybe 2 or 3 minutes taking any questions. And for those of you who are watching live, if you want to kind of talk to me, we can do so. I'll be here for maybe another 2 more minutes. But if the question comes in, then I'll stay for as long as it takes to finish answering the question. Don't worry about that. All right. Other than that, how are you guys doing? What's up with all of you? Monday for me, brand new day, brand new week. Can't believe, I feel like April is moving so fast for me. January, February moved so slow. March started to gain a little bit of momentum, and then April is just whizzing by. It's a little bit crazy, even like in my business, in my personal life as well. March, up until March, it was like, okay, I could feel time moving, and then all of a sudden it feels like time is flying by. I don't know if you're also feeling the same way on your end. But other than that, with respect to maybe what I'm going through with respect to my business this week, a bit of a hectic week, a bit of a lot of deliverables to submit as well, including client work. Overall, doing well, doing okay. I hope that you also are doing well, doing okay. I hope that this week, kind of brings you some kind of comfort, some kind of clarity, some kind of confirmation as well. Alrighty, I will be calling this live an end for today. I will be here tomorrow. I'll be here every single weekday. You can definitely ask your questions live, or you can watch for the live mini reads, the advice that I usually pull out during these reads while we wait for questions to come through. But other than that, private readings are available. You can definitely check that out. There are a couple of different options available. then definitely check that out. Links are there in the description box. I am a Reiki healer as well, so there are a couple of options available for Reiki healing. Like for example, there's an option for deep rest. Like if you're struggling with sleep, then Reiki can actually help with that. Inner child healing, trauma healing, emotional healing, let go and release, clearing of negative energy, chakra balancing. What else? What else? Emotional, like there's emotional healing, but there's also physical body ease as well. Those options are definitely available if you'd like to check it out. But otherwise, I am going to leave all of you here for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you were looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you, and I will catch you in my next one. Take care, and bye-bye.